Amid all the complications of policy, may we never forget that immigration is a blessing and a strength.
And you don't have to be an economist to figure out that workers will be more productive if they've got their families here with them. They're not worried about deportation. They're not living halfway around the world. This isn't just the right thing to do, it's the smart thing to do.
I don't want to see a whole, if they're living here, I don't want to see a whole thing of 6- and 8-year-old kids being made, one totally uneducated and made to feel that they're living with outside the law. Let's address ourselves to the fundamentals. These are good people, strong people. Part of my family is a Mexican.
I believe strongly we are missing a great opportunity by not welcoming people like you. And
since this is the last speech that I will give as president, I think it's fitting to leave one final thought, an observation about a country which I love. It was stated best in a letter I received not long ago. A man wrote me and said, "You can go to live in France, but you cannot become a Frenchman. You can go to live in Germany or Turkey or Japan, but you cannot become a German, a Turk, or Japanese. But anyone from any corner of the earth can come to live in America and become an American."
I quickly saw that it was a crisis that needed responding to. It became very apparent to me very quickly that individuals would be cut off from accessing legal services.
Immigrants face a variety of challenges, and when they enter the United States, they are not given anything. They are told that they must fend for themselves.
When people migrate, one of the first things they want to get is they want to get a cell phone. They want to get a smartphone.
It changes the ability to practice law in a way that you never realized that was even possible.
Immigration practitioners need technology that can help with security, communications, and efficiency.
We were also able to utilize bulk text messaging through WhatsApp so that we could use real-time communication to allow people to communicate with legal service providers.
We attach these videos and it's almost like refugees and asylum seekers are in a way getting a kind of lecture as to what rights they have.
Attorneys and advocates, nonprofits, we can come under one roof and we can collectively share our experiences, share our understanding of the law. The law is constantly changing.
We make them feel like they have options, like they're not just stuck between a rock and a hard place.
If I could sum up the way that people feel, it'd be one word: hope. And I've been practicing here on the US-Mexico border for almost 3 decades now. I've seen my fair share of crisis and cycles that we go through in terms of immigration policy. This photo you're looking at now, it's really hard to see, but right in the middle, there's this little woman holding up a piece of paper trying to give a legal orientation to about 200 people that day. I did that for many days, and then along the way, I was able to meet what I'll call my little magic maker, Jeff O'Brien, and he asked me how could he help and what could he do to make it easier and more efficient and better to be able to provide legal information to all the people that needed help. We have to remember there were thousands of people that were stuck in Mexico needing information about how to do their immigration cases. So what happened was Jeff came along and I said, Jeff, I need a bigger bullhorn. I can't reach everyone. I need everyone to be able to have the information at their hands. And the easiest way to do that was for me to pull out my cell phone. And I asked Jeff, is there a way that you can build a system where we can send out information and people could have it in the palm of their hands? They could access it anytime that they wanted. They could watch it over and over again so they could learn about the legal process. And that's what Jeff did. He created a miracle. And it was awesome to be able to see the results of being able to send out very quick information, important information, pertinent and timely. And we were able to create a platform that we would use videos and text messaging through WhatsApp so that migrants throughout Mexico that were waiting for their hearings could have access to legal information. And since then, we've been sending out videos for almost a year now. And there's a very large following, thank goodness. We're able to get our information out to people so that they can have the information to not only help them to be prepared for their cases, but they also can share it with other people that are interested. We're excited today because we have a survey that we recently conducted, a pilot survey that we asked about 300 individuals that have been receiving our text messages over the last year or so. We asked them what was the impact of receiving legal information through text messaging. We also partner with a number of groups that provide different levels of service, humanitarian aid organizations such as UNHCR and HIAS. And we also partner with a Global Response Management that provides critical medical care needs for those immigrants that are waiting for their hearings. And in response to our survey, what we found was astounding. 85% of those people surveyed said that having the ability to receive information in the palm of their hands made them feel safer as they were waiting for their hearings in Mexico. That feeling of comfort and calm is priceless. 74% of the individuals who subscribe and receive our text messages say that they share it with other people. So even those individuals that may not have subscribed to receiving our text messages are able to benefit from the information that we send out. This is huge. This is an ability to change the way that you practice law, but it's also the ability to change lives, to make people feel better, to make people feel safe, and also to be prepared when they have to go to court, often alone. And that's what we're here for. We want to be able to spread this message so that we can get more individuals prepared and with the tools they need in their hands. We have to thank our sponsors because without you, we could never do what it is that we do. Our presenting sponsor tonight is Salesforce, and I can't thank them enough for all the support throughout building this system. Our gold sponsors are Fionta and Ovation Solutions, and I want to thank Ovation Solutions for creating this video that you're watching right now. Our silver sponsors, Bouchain Vineyards. Wow, I'm really hungry after watching the wine tasting and the cooking. Brain Trust, and of course, Thompson Reuters. We appreciate your support, and we appreciate all of your support tonight in joining us for this event. I want to give you a little tip off. I called him my magic maker earlier, and I can't thank Jeff O'Brien enough. He is one of the founders of Mobile Pathways, and I look forward to hearing more from him tonight. Thank you all so much, and we appreciate your support.
Thanks, Jody. I'm very humbled to be on a board with you. You do the most heavy lifting of any attorney that I've ever come across. I don't think I ever told you this, Jody, but when I was down visiting the camps in Matamoros, I was talking to a journal from the Wall Street Journal, a reporter from the Wall Street Journal, who said you're a real tour de force, and that always stuck with me, and that's the perfect way to describe you. But one of the things I wanted to just bring up is those numbers that she's showing you from the survey, how high they are. I've worked with refugees as well. I'm an immigration attorney as well, and for about 12 years. And wanted to share why I think these numbers are so high, why people feel safer, why they're sharing the videos. They're surprising and not surprising. About 60% of the people in the camps are women, according to the survey we had. They're seeking, most of, if not all of them, are seeking asylum in the United States. The laws were changed to exclude them from properly applying for asylum. They've been at the border for a year or longer, where there's crime, they're sleeping in tents, and they're hoping that things change. And so the question is, why do these show like a positive, optimistic outlook? And it's because of people like Jody, who can communicate with them, who have demonstrated that they are in the corner, helping these people fight. And if they have someone in their corner, you would not believe kind of the strength and the courage they have to continue. And whether you know this or not, whether you know undocumented people in the United States or not, the people here inside the border who are undocumented share many of the same traits: strength, fortitude, perseverance. But one of the things that, whether immigrants are inside the United States, they're outside of the United States, they're looking for papers, they're looking for ways to help them stay here, there's one thing they all need to know, and they all need to understand what their legal options are. Supporters like you of Mobile Pathways are helping to build this infrastructure for people like Jody, for nonprofits out there who don't have the resources of their own to build the technology. But through people like Jody and through these nonprofits, they have the capability to reach literally millions of people because they already have the connections. They can reach them through their cell phones during this pandemic, and they can answer their questions, and they can be in their corner, and they can give them hope. Thanks, Bart.
Good evening. My name is Bartome Skorupa, Bart for short. I'm also one of the co-founders of Mobile Pathways, and I'm an immigrant here from Poland. I want to begin by thanking our panelists that joined us today. This was an interactive experience where we had different breakout rooms and sessions. So for those of you that couldn't see them all, they will be available afterwards. I want to thank Bambi, Zach, and Naomi for discussing a panel that I got to moderate about the complexities of the identities we as immigrants and as people of color, gender, and all that we apply to ourselves. I want to thank Tona, Luis, and Valerie, who represent an organization called Dreamers in Tech, people who are DACA recipients and trying to thrive in the tech industry. And if you missed those panels, they will be available afterwards. I highly encourage you to watch them. And thank you for all the great questions and conversations. This is a photo of my family. This was one of the last evenings we had in Poland. My parents, they made a massive sacrifice. They left family, country, their friends for my sister and I, so we could have better opportunities. Poland is a part of my identity. It is my mother country, but at the time, it didn't offer the opportunities my parents wanted for me and my sister to have in our lives. And I think about that as I even actually can see my daughter, who might just walk on camera. And as a parent now of a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old, and the responsibility I have to ensure that they have the opportunities in life. And that is really what drives my sense of purpose, my sense of conviction in our work of Mobile Pathways, of being able to reach out to everyone so they can get the same shot at the American dream I had. And I saw what was happening in our country, and I knew when I met Jeff and people like Jody, of who I've met so many, there are so many immigration attorneys and nonprofits there that are helping to provide equal access to justice. And that's what makes me so passionate about Mobile Pathways. And I want to share one last thing from the survey. This is what the camps look like. And 2020 was not an easy year for anyone. It was hopeless. It was despair in March. And imagine being here, stuck at the border, and being told to be socially distant in this kind of environment. The news was not good, but we kept reaching out. The text went out, the videos went out. And one of the questions we asked in the survey, which only got its results back a week ago, was, are you hopeful? And I thought about what a good response would be. 50%, 70% hopeful for the future. And to me, to know that 90% of the people that we worked with and sent information to were hopeful for the future, where every bad card you could get in the deck was dealt to you, when everything seemed to be working against you, they still have hope. And that is the seed of resilience that all immigrants, that all people share in our community. And it's the real message we want to be able to share with you tonight. We are marching towards a massive change in our country through our work, through the upcoming election, and we just all want you to be hopeful. And I want you to be able to extend that hope. There are thousands of people like Jody. There are hundreds of nonprofits that we already work with to enable them to send information, videos in different languages, text messages, just to let them know there's somebody there rooting for them. And if you want to extend that message of hope and make a gift, please text Pathways 2020 to 5155 or go to bit.ly Pathways Hope. Your gift will help us create a world where there are no borders, that are fair and equal access to justice. And at this point, I want to just share a quick video from our allies, our supporters, and many of you that sent us their messages of hope.
我是一个华侨，我认为家庭聚餐使我充满希望。只要尝到家乡的美味，无论身在何处，就可以穿越时空，与亲人在一起。
A proverb in Somalia I use in my work is "Digo kumanakaku," which means "Does your blood not move?" When faced with injustice, we have to band together, to stay a united front. Justice towards liberation depends on you and I. I'm ready. Are you?
Each and every one of us must act with courage, conviction, and hope. Hope that technology can be deployed to protect our democracy. Hope that justice, humanity, freedom, and the common good will prevail. Thank you, Mobile Pathways, for your role in advancing justice for immigrants, refugees, and asylum seekers.
This year has been an interesting one, but one thing that gives me hope is how people are finding ways, big and small, to show up for each other.
I'm hopeful because I just voted by mail, and I feel lucky to live in a country where our voices can still be heard.
Tengo la esperanza que en el futuro cercano estaremos en una nueva era de cooperación entre los inmigrantes a los Estados Unidos y los que ya se encuentran aquí.
I am hopeful that during this chaotic time we have time to truly think about our core purpose. And with this, I am hopeful that we reach out with love and compassion to our worldwide sisters and brothers that need our help through Mobile Pathways.
Thank you again, everyone, for all the support. Thank you for attending this evening. Since that video even just showed, we raised another $3,000. Our goal this night is to raise $50,000. We just got an anonymous pledge for $10,000. Thank you to an anonymous donor. $10,000 helps us support 2 nonprofits for an entire year. Free texts, free technical services, the ability to be able to reach out to thousands of people. At $5,000, we can support 1 organization for an entire year. $1,000, that can give us an entire issue campaign focus, whether it's about DACA rights to ensure that all the breaking news about the Supreme Court holding it up. For $500, we can text, create, and share a video. Videos are very important. We do work with populations that may not have full literacy, and getting language in their native language. We've sent videos in the mom language. There are certain languages we text them information that have no written language. So $500 helps us create a video that goes out to hundreds of people, and even $100 can make a huge difference. $100 sends out 3,500 texts for a nonprofit. We send out thousands of texts every day, thanks to heroes like Jody. Before I sign off and with our final parting thoughts, I just want to thank Jody and the many other immigration attorneys and nonprofit partners we work with for the work that you do every day. We are proud to serve you and amplify your voice. And I'll give the final thought to Jeff for the evening, and I wish everyone a wonderful night.
Thanks, Bart. So I just wanted to conclude by bringing us back 4 years ago, just to think for a minute about what it was like then when we were told over and over that the government was going to build a wall, a physical barrier on the Mexican-American border. That didn't happen, as we all know, but what you may know less about is an invisible wall that was built. The invisible wall being new rules and regulations and making it extremely difficult for people, not even just the refugees that we're kind of focused on tonight, but for all immigrants. The wall has been getting higher, and it's actually much more harmful than any physical barrier would have been. So immigrants coming to the US are fighting, they're struggling. As our advocates, we're swimming against a tide that just never seems to end. But that said, I am hopeful for the future, and I think you should be hopeful too. And here's why I think you should be hopeful. I think fundamentally, most Americans are good. I think that we will soon see a leadership change that encourages people with differences to see each other as friends, neighbors, part of a bigger community. I think laws can change. And I'm hopeful that because there are so many people like you, people who want to support and encourage organizations like Mobile Pathways, that we can all lift up those among us who are asking for our help. Thank you for coming tonight.